my name's David. I live in guardianship, so I'm living in Brixton at the moment. I run a vegan catering company called Feed the Village, mainly based out of food trucks, but we do festivals, events, corporate, which is partially why I sort of started in guardianships, because it gives me the flexibility of space and the sort of starting your own business isn't always the most profitable thing in the world, so saving money on rent was obviously a big consideration at the start. I've lived in London since 2017 and been in guardianship since 2018, so yeah, 8 years now. Met my wife in a guardianship, who I live with here now, so I think we're the only married couple in a guardianship, but yeah. As a couple in a guardianship these days, you can't share a room. You have to get your own rooms. That's partly due to, just the licensing around use of showers and stuff like that. But so we have 2 rooms. We have this room, which I'm in now, which is, moderately sized. Like, we've got our bed, clothing rail. We basically just sleep in here. And for this, we pay about £440 now, I think, which is obviously on the lower side. And the other room is a lot more expensive. It's 1,100-ish now, 1,080 maybe, but it's very, very big. It's kind of split into multiple areas. We've got our own bathroom, our own sink, little office area, living room area that we get changed in, makeup desk for my wife. So yeah, the other room's pretty big, backs onto the garden, and that's where we spend most of our time. That's our living room, that's our social space, it's our workspace. So yeah, that's what we're paying now. Yeah, so I first heard about property guardianship on Google, actually. I was living in Battersea for about 2 weeks with a waiter that I'd met in a restaurant the week before, because I had nowhere to go and I needed to find somewhere new to live. My sister had someone else moving in and I needed to move out, and he gave me somewhere to live for 2 weeks, and he also had someone moving in, so the end of the 2 weeks was coming around. I think I had 2 days left, so I just went online, cheap places to live in London, how to live in London with no money, and guardianships popped up. And back then they were very, very cheap, so my first room was only £300, but obviously with the sort of like rise of just global prices, everything's gone up. But it's still, for the space you get, it's significantly cheaper than traditional rent. One of the key things about guardian living is you have to be really comfortable in a community. I've lived with, the smallest was 7 people and the largest was 28. And there are properties much bigger than that, and you have to accept that you're going to be sharing your stuff, your pots, your pans. You're going to be communally living, sharing showers, sharing washing machines, and being respectful of each other in that space. And obviously you get very varied levels of people who sort of commit to that lifestyle, but it's something I really enjoy. You need a bit of honey or a bit of flour, someone's got it for you. If you need to borrow a rice cooker, someone's got it. Whatever you need, as long as you're sort of committing and providing to that community, it kind of gives back. And for me, that's definitely been the best thing about living in guardianships is the community. As I previously mentioned, I met my wife in a guardianship. So you meet amazing people and some interesting people. Seriously ask yourself if you're okay with the communal living and communal cleaning. And if you like to live in a community and you're looking for something cheap and you're flexible on the move, then go for it. But you also have to be aware that you're furnishing your own place. So, you need to get your own stuff and just be aware that you've got to move within 28 days if that comes. So far, I've managed to stay in my first place for a year, second place for 2.5 years. Next place was a year, but we left by choice. And then this place, I've been here 3 years in May. So you aren't turfed out every couple months, but you have to be aware that at any time the rug can be pulled out from underneath you and you've got to be ready to go. But fortunately, if you get a good relationship with the guardianship companies, most of them will rehouse you. So we're living in a school at the moment. We have 2 main kitchens, and those are sort of the most communal areas. We have a big gym, but it's not really furnished for living. There's obviously restrictions when you live in guardianships, they're commercial properties, in terms of where you can use, because of the fire wardens come around and make sure everything's really safe, and that does impact how you can kind of use the space. But in general, yeah, we have a sofa in the kitchen. That's where people hang out. There's probably 20 odd people living here, 22, something like that. It always changes. People come, people go, and I'm never entirely sure everyone who lives here, but yeah. One thing that's been great for guardianships for me is parking. So parking in London is a massive premium, and a lot of guardianships don't have parking, but I've always made sure to go for ones that do. I've always had a car in London. I've had vans in London. I get to park my food truck here, which I really appreciate being able to do. And yeah, having that safe gated space for my vehicle is, it's worth a lot. And it's been really beneficial being able to sort of do tastings and have a nice big kitchen where I can play with recipes and stuff. So it's been great for the business that I've been running. But obviously it gets to a point where your business outgrows the space, and we're obviously not allowed to do business from here, so I can't do supper clubs or anything like that, but it's still nevertheless a sort of good option to be able to have those benefits. Favorite memory. I don't know, there's a lot. I mean, yeah, I guess like Christmas dinners. Christmas dinners with the other Guardians are really nice, and everyone sort of comes together, cooks a dish, sits down, and you have that sort of like little community. Guardians can become your family. A few of our close friends have left from this property now, but in previous guardianships, we've got lifelong friends. One of them was our celebrant at the wedding, and the other one was my wife's maid of honour, and my wife was one of them. So yeah, you really meet family in guardianships. I mean, I think I've personally been very lucky, but there's a lot of tight-knit groups, especially within this building.